Hey, welcome to the Lifestyle Creation Podcast, designing life on your terms. I'm your host, Jamie Thurber, and I'm an expert operations manager, productivity queen, mindset, business, and lifestyle coach. Basically, getting shit done is my jam. And I believe in the power of intentional living and in real conversations that can shift your perspective, create habits, and ultimately achieve the freedom that you want in every area of your life. Hey guys, welcome back to the Lifestyle Creation Podcast. This is your host, Jamie Thurber, and I'm super happy that you're here with me today. I am going to include something for you that feels very, very close to my heart and very much like a message that I need to get out there in every way, shape, or form that I possibly can. And it is going to be straight from a live stream video that I did just the other day on Facebook with my audience there. And I just really wanted to share not only this like beautifully cool moment in my life, but also something that I think is really, really important for the masses to hear and for people, encouraging individuals that are in this situation or have had similar experiences, but also people who know whether you have experienced hard times with a diagnosis or an illness or struggling with mental health or any of those things, whether if you haven't experienced that yourself, chances are you know someone who is experiencing that or has. So it's a great piece to educate yourself on how to empathize with them a little bit more, or at least be able to listen and understand and help. So I hope that you like this, give it a listen, and I can't wait for you to hear my beautiful news. I actually just pulled over because I felt like I needed to say the words to you right now, so that's what we're doing. So I just left my doctor's office, and this is a new doctor. I started seeing him I guess in the late summer, and I've never had a doctor not believe, or a doctor believe me and want to figure out what was wrong. Everyone would do tests and everyone would say, oh, well, this is what you're doing wrong. You feel this way because you ate the wrong thing, or you didn't eat enough, or you didn't sleep enough, or you didn't drink enough water, or these might be the 17 things that you did wrong as to why you feel this way. And I was a young person when that started. So we calculated it back, and the first time I remember going to the doctor for these symptoms, I was in the second grade. So obviously there were time frames in my life that it wasn't completely devastating, but at least the last 15 years, it has been all-consuming. And that's not what this whole message is about. This whole message is about the fact that it took me a long time to find doctors and people who were willing to fight the fight with me. And I could have given up a million times. And sometimes maybe in the moment I did. There were times that I would go, down paths of naturopaths and herbalists and all of these things, which I believe did help me feel better, but they never got to the root of what was wrong with me. And therefore, I always lived with these horribly crippling symptoms. They told me I couldn't gain weight because my metabolism was high. Now, granted, a lot of the people in my family seem to have high metabolism, so I accepted that to be true. I was told that my body had an issue absorbing nutrients, but then that's all someone would say. They didn't want to talk about any other solution to the problem. Again, it always was blamed on me. And so I wanted to record this really quick for you. I just know there are so many people who, whether mostly like in your own health or mental health journey, where you feel like you're kind of fighting your own battle and doing it alone because people don't realize what's going on, or they're not taking you seriously, or you feel stupid, or like there's something wrong with you. I just sat down with my doctor and we were talking about my progress over the last couple of months and just how I'm feeling now. And I was like, it still doesn't feel real. And he goes, what? That you can, I go, like, I can get up in the morning and I'm hungry and I can eat breakfast. Like, that is weird. And he goes, oh, you mean like a normal person? And I was like, exactly. And I just told him how much I appreciated him validating what I had experienced for most of my life. And I don't think a lot of people put enough acknowledgement on how difficult it is when you've been told there's nothing wrong with you, or there's no diagnosis, or there's no this, or there's no that, for so many years of your life. When there really is a real problem, right? So when you find people who are willing to help you find the real problem, and like I said, don't stop fighting for yourself. It took me 25 years to finally find something that worked. And people who said, oh my God, Jamie, that's not normal, and I'm so sorry that you've dealt with that. We will do everything we can to help you figure this out. And then they did. But if I would have never advocated for myself over and over and over and over and over again, that would have never happened. Do I believe that we need to live in a world where people have to advocate for themselves so hard in order to get help? No. I think that it sucks that that's the reality. But here's the deal. Sometimes our reality is what our reality is. So you either become a victim of that and you accept the life sentence and you accept that and say that this is just what it's going to be. And then, in my opinion, in those cases, if you accept that and you do nothing else about it, then you don't get to complain about it anymore. But you have to keep trying. If you want your life to be different, or you want a solution, you have to keep going after it. Do I think that we should have to do that? No. But do I know that we do have to do that? Yes. And so what we should have to do and what we do have to do are very different things. And so I believe if you are discouraged, dude, I get it. No one else fucking gets it more than me. Like 25 years, y'all. Like 25 years. Like no one else gets it more than me, how discouraging it is to wake up every day feeling horrible and be fearful that you're going to pass out, or you're going to get sick, or you might have to go home early, or you might inconvenience someone else because you don't feel good. And then your whole life revolves around trying to not feel sick, trying to not inconvenience anyone else, trying to have just enough energy to do your calls and take care of your people and make sure that you're okay. Sitting through an event wondering if you're going to make it through it, or shaking on the inside because you know that you're really not okay, but you're going to pretend like you're okay and no one else needs to know because it doesn't make sense because you don't have a diagnosis. So people just look at you like you're crazy. Trust me, I understand that discouraged feeling. And I just wanted to record a message and say that there is hope out there. There are doctors who care. Unfortunately, it's a little more difficult to find them sometimes, but don't stop looking and don't stop advocating for yourself. Don't stop making phone calls and asking whoever will listen to you, because eventually you'll figure it out. 25 years later, I just sat down with this doctor about my progress over the last few months, and he asked me how I was doing, and he was like, this is a drastic difference than the last time that you were in this office. And I said, yeah, it is. And I also want to explain the fact that just because you get a diagnosis or a medicine that helps you, that doesn't mean that everything else disappears. It doesn't mean that you just immediately are better. When you've lived with something for a lot of years, a lot of other things become impacted by that, right? So you have to be patient with yourself. And you still have to advocate for yourself and give yourself that grace and that space for things to sort themselves out. And what I mean by that is, and for my example, imagine that I just started taking this medicine that this doctor told me to take and then did no other work around it. The mental game I had to play for so long to be well or pretend like I was well took a toll, right? And in order for my life to be different, I have to be different. I have to heal those things and deal with those things and navigate them differently. And I think that's the piece. I mean, you can relate this to so many different places, right? Like, you know, someone who goes to a freaking coaching seminar or like a weekend retreat, and they get their whole like heart ripped open, and then they go home and they have no idea what to do with this new wound, right? Or this new ripped wide open version of themselves, or how to integrate the things that they learned. And so they become overwhelmed, they go backwards, or they go back into old cycles. Like, it's the same concept. No matter what it is that you're doing, you have to continue moving forward and advocating for yourself and finding people to help you integrate those things so that you actually can grow and change and evolve and actually have forward motion and relief from the things that ail you. No one can get you that but you. And you have to be able to advocate for yourself. So I sat in there today and I told him I don't have nausea anymore. I'm very rarely nauseous. Where I was nauseous 20 hours. So if I'm awake for 17 hours, 15 of those hours I was nauseous. If I'm awake for 17 hours, maybe 12 of them I was in pain. And I still have pain and I still have some things I'm dealing with because we don't know what's secondary and what's another problem potentially in my spine. We're working on it, and progress is progress. And I didn't come this far to only come this far, friends. So you shouldn't either. Don't settle. Don't accept a life sentence. Keep searching. Keep searching, keep trying, keep Tracking things is the way that we find solutions. Tracking and reflecting on what worked and what didn't. How did I feel today and what was different about today than I did yesterday? Yeah, it sounds like a lot of work, but isn't it worth it? Isn't living life on a higher level, with a different level of quality of life, isn't that fucking worth it? It should be worth it. And again, I get it. Some days I was so fed up and so discouraged, but it lasted small amounts of time. And then I got back up and I did it again. And I tried again. And I tried again. Because that's how it goes. You either accept it and sit in it or you don't. I could have accepted that Mac has cancer and I just called it a day. Just, wrote his life off as over months and months ago. That's not who I am. It's not what we do in my house. We increase his quality of life. We do what we have to do. We have down moments with him. As long as he has a good quality of life overall, then we will continue to do what he needs to feel good and to be comfortable and happy and healing. So anyway, take that for what you will. Take as many nuggets as that as you want to. If anybody has questions about this and want to talk about how to find these solutions and how to get through those dark moments where everyone tells you you're crazy and that there's nothing wrong with you, I have been there. And this still feels surreal, to be honest. I'm still really integrating into a new lifestyle. So if anyone wants to talk about that, I'm open to it. My message for you today is don't accept a life sentence. You don't have to accept a life sentence, I guess I should say. So take that as you will, friends, and wherever you are in the world, take a deep breath, release the tension from your shoulders, smile a little more today, and go out into the world and do good things and have a great day. Thank you for being here and thank you for listening. I think that this is a powerful message because a lot of people don't talk about the struggle with chronic illnesses and chronic pain and mental health as much as they should. So the more of you that can share this, the better off we all are. So thank you. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in for this message. It means so much to me that you took the time to listen to this. And I would love it if you could share this episode with your audience on social media or anyone that you think may benefit from it, because I feel like this is still a message that people aren't talking about enough. And this is still something that needs to be heard and that a lot of people need to experience and feel and hear and feel seen and loved and all of those beautiful things. And I am really just calling on you for your help in getting this message out to as many people as it can reach. So if you can click that little copy link and post it wherever you feel comfortable posting it, I would really appreciate it. If you have not already gone over to iTunes and left us a review, we would love it if you could go over there and leave a review. That also helps get this message in front of more people. As always, thank you so much for being here with me, and enjoy the rest of your day.